time for breakfast, which has just arrived, and I'm going to have breakfast in bed. What do we have here? A sausage roll. But this is no ordinary sausage roll. This is a vegan sausage roll. Editing Joe here. Ignore him. It's not a vegan sausage roll at all. It's a regular one. It's probably going to be rank. The usual mini pint of milk, crunchy nut cornflakes, banana. I think that might be a blueberry muffin, orange mango smooth. We've got strawberry yogurt. It's day 6 and that is Tuesday. So I'm now almost a week since I arrived here, which is quite exciting because it means I've got not as much time left as I did when I first got here. That's obvious. I'm really sorry, I've just woken up. My brain's not really engaged yet. Never had a vegan sausage roll before, and I remember what Piers' reaction on Good Morning Britain was when he tried the Greggs one. And this is not even a Greggs one. It basically tastes exactly like the regular sausage roll. You're an idiot. I would say that's actually a good thing. The regular sausage roll let itself down because it had been sat there for ages in a bag and it tasted a bit dry and a bit stale. Not dry, but like starchy is the word I'd use. Like you eat a few crackers without having a drink, it gets a bit cementy in your mouth. You have a sip of a drink, suddenly you can chew again. And that was the same with the regular one. But the flavour, I can't tell the difference between the flavour of that and the flavour of the actual real meat sausage roll. And I'm actually going to have my crunchy nut cornflakes this morning because I haven't really eaten any of my cereal. 4 boxes of cereal, 5 cakes just sat there. I don't know like what I'm surviving on right now, but I'm not... God, that's close. Back up. Come on, you're filming yourself. I don't know what I'm really surviving on, to be honest. Well, no, I do know. The soup, the sandwich, and then the dinner, the main. Did have some fridge raiders yesterday, a little packet of chicken bites. But that's it. It's not like I'm like having secret meals I'm not telling you about or anything, honestly. I'm secretly being a pig and then being like, oh, I'm hardly eating anything. That's not happening. I'm just genuinely not really that hungry. I'm gonna make a cup of tea because I can't do breakfast without a cup of tea. Watch a bit of TV in bed with my breakfast, go straight into the shower, carry on editing. And then I'm going to try and have a walk around lunchtime today and not leave it so late because it's another beautiful day out there. And look at this. I say every day that I'm excited to get out there and I'm going to film some stuff, but I don't. I never film anything apart from myself, which is really boring. So I'm sorry about that. I've ordered a long telephoto lens that I've been wanting for so long. And I finally just bit the bullet. While I'm here, it's a great opportunity to test it out and use it. Sometimes you see all this stuff with your eyes, but you just can't get it on a camera because you can't get in close enough. And I'm going to make a really beautiful kind of outdoory country film, just like a little short film to some music, just to test out my camera and the lenses, because I've never taken the camera to see the woods or forest or trees because it's literally lived in the desert all of its life. So I'm quite excited for the camera to see some British countryside. Hopefully we'll get some weather that's good, or we'll have to wait for some good weather. So we might be waiting 6 months. It's just the way it goes in this country. When you're stuck inside, the weather's like this. And when you have the time to go outside, then it goes grey. Cool, all right, well, I will see you in a bit. Apologies for the dark spot. I have dust on my sensor. I ordered a sensor cleaning kit, so you won't have to put up with it for long.
Just feel like there is no air left to breathe. Do you just wanna to be left outside the grid? It's all for sure. I didn't know. I wonder what it meant to be. If I let go and let it flow, I think there's more to see.
I just need a break. I'll take what you take. I just need to break.
It's really beautiful out here today, but it's been so busy they've cut our hours. I have 20 minutes on the stopwatch. I have a quick walk around, film some blue sky, maybe a plane for you, and then have to head back inside. One of the flaws of this camera. Okay guys, I'm about to go full-on tech geek overload. So if you're not interested in that, I suggest you skip forward to 12 minutes 50. This is the Sony ZV-1, which is meant to be a vlogging camera, although it's only like a 24mm equivalent. It's just a little bit tight. Like, I'm not sure where my background is, probably somewhere like there, the edge of the frame. Should be like there, but that's what you get. Anyway, my point is, I can't actually see the screen because I've got polarized glasses on. Whoever engineered this camera made the brilliant decision to make the screen, the LCD screen on this, without a polarizer filter. It scatters the light into both directions so that you can actually view the screen with polarized glasses. So I actually don't even know if I'm in the frame. Am I overexposed? +3. Let's take you down a little notch. This camera has actually got a built-in ND filter, which is very handy. So it is awesome that you can go completely native with this camera outside with no extra stuff in bright sunshine. So I've got a 16 to 35, which is my wide angle. That stops at 35, but my next lens up starts at 24. So I have a little crossover. That goes up to 105, which is kind of like a short length telly kind of length. I can do everything I need to on that lens. It's wide enough to be able to shoot vlogs, and it's also gives me that little bit of reach. So that's really useful if you just want to take your camera in one lens. That's probably a good lens choice. If I'm just doing vlogging, the 16-35 is better because I can like really get a nice bit of background behind me. It's more interesting for you guys to watch. But I can't really get that far. I can go to 35. Those two lenses, they're both usable on their own, but the combination of the two is like amazing. And then I bought a specialist lens, which is coming tomorrow, which is a Sony G Master 100 to 400. So that's like a super telly, and I'm so excited because I've never ever owned a super zoom lens before. I'm really looking forward to being able to get some wildlife stuff. And that's great because that then leads on from the 105. So now I've got 3 lenses, and they cover me from 16 all the way up to 400. None of them are that fast lenses, the 16 to 35 and then the 24 to 105. They're both f4 lenses, so they're constant f4 aperture, which for me, I love for video because, well, firstly, it takes away a lot of the issues with ND because I'm already like starting at f4. Yeah, there are some circumstances where I'd like to get a bit more bokeh in the background maybe, but for most of the stuff I do, it's not really an issue. And then the 100 to 400 is, I think it starts at 4.5 at 100mm and it goes up to 5.6 at 400mm. So there is a Sony 400mm super telly, yeah, f4, and that costs £10,500. So that just gives you an idea of how much the price goes up when you create a fast lens that is a telly. The prices are insane. There's also a 200 to 600, costs 12.5, no, it's £13,000 for that one lens. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't need to go that far, and I don't need a lens that's that fast because A, I don't have the money for it, and secondly, I just really probably won't see the benefit. I quite like the idea of zoom lenses as well because I like to be able to... Shut up, Siri. A lot of people go on about primes and how primes are the business and all of this, and they are, and if you know exactly what you're shooting and you're not running and gunning and you're more kind of like doing setups and stuff, then definitely primes probably is going to be beneficial, and you're going to see the difference in quality, and you're going to have much sharper images on the corners, less vignetting, all that kind of stuff. But when you're just like running around, you don't really know exactly what you're going to be shooting. The versatility of a zoom lens is just unparalleled in my opinion. And I'm not filming stuff for the BBC, I'm filming most of my stuff for YouTube, so that quality difference is negligible. I am planning to go back into doing some freelance work. I've got a business plan. I've been thinking about starting my own business back up again. I used to do videography, freelance when I was a lot younger. I used to do weddings and stuff. Whilst it was good money and I enjoyed it, it was super stressful. Anything where you're shooting live is just super stressful, and I don't really want to do that anymore. I've got a few plans about where I'm going to take my business and what I'm going to do. The plan is that I can, if I choose, just carry on freelancing and pay for my living that way. I'm going to put a lot of effort and time into it. I've already done quite a lot of planning for it and research. Still got a fair bit to do. Hopefully it will all pan out. I just really want to go back into doing creative stuff for my living. I work in events around the world, and whilst I enjoy it, I think it does have a shelf life. I'm 40 now. How much longer am I going to be wanting to fly around the world, completely uproot my life, settle down for a year or two, and then move to the next place? I'd much rather be able to have a base and then go off and travel for work, for my work, for what I want to do, what I want to film. Anyway, it's really beautiful out here. 6 minutes left on the clock. I can't believe this is still filming. I would have thought this camera would have overheated by now because it's prone to that. Am I filming in HD or 4K? I am actually in 4K. 4K, 30 frames a second, so that's probably why she's alright. I went through a phase of trying out 24 frames a second. I just can't get with it. I know there's a lot of arguments about frame rates, or people saying, oh, you know, for the cinematic look, you should be filming in 24 frames a second and all this stuff. I have like a really different opinion. You should use specific frame rates for specific jobs. So there are certain things where you will want 24 frames a second, or you will want that cinematic look. And if there's lots of static shots in it, not too much movement, then yeah, that 24 frames a second is gonna probably do you well. It's a hell of a lot easier to edit because the files are smaller. When you're filming in 10-bit 422, which I am, even a spec'd up MacBook Pro, that will struggle to play that footage back without jumping and skipping frames. Realistically, you want to shoot as low as you can. I've had to make proxy files for certain clips that I've been shooting this week. So when I've done slow-mo and 120 frames a second, I've had to create proxy files for those just to be able to edit them. I've been shooting everything at 30 frames a second because I personally think for sort of vlogging this kind of stuff, 30 frames a second is a good kind of halfway point. A lot of people don't like higher frame rates like 60 because it can look too real and too super real, and that's fine, and I understand that. I actually quite like the 60 frames look, but it's a beast. Files are huge, it takes forever to upload to YouTube, and it's just not a very practical format. If I was filming something with loads of movement in it, then maybe I would shoot my base timeline as 60 frames. Now I go with 30 frames. Only slight issue with 30 frames is because I'm here in Europe, you do get lots of interference with lights flickering and stuff. So like if I'm shooting with certain types of light here in the UK, and in Dubai it's the same because there's the same base frequency for electrical stuff. You do get that flicker and you really notice it in slow-mo when you slow your footage down. Get around it a little bit by changing your shutter speed down, so making your shutter speed a little bit longer, kind of smooths it out a bit, but you still notice it, especially when you're doing slow-mo. So there's no real easy answer to it other than to shoot in PAL, which is 25 or 50. 50 is too fast. It's too heavy for my computer to edit without having to create loads of proxies. So for a project like this, where I'm like filming every day, it's just not practical. And 25, for me, it's the same as 24 really. It has that choppy look. Whenever you do any kind of movement, you just see that lag, that like stutter. And I really hate it. I really just don't like that at all. And I know that's what we're used to seeing in films and stuff, but for me, it's jarring, it's not pleasant on the eye, it takes your attention away from the focus of what you're trying to actually film. So I don't like 24 or 25 frames a second for anything that has any kind of movement in it. It needs to be 30 or above. If it's fast movement, then 60, to be then played back at 100% speed. I'm not talking about slow-mo here. I filmed something in 25 frames a second PAL a while back, but I don't know if I used it or not. It was annoying because I wanted to mix it with other footage. My other footage was mostly 30 frames a second. I had some 24 as well. And do you know what? It's just become a bit of a mess. My advice to anyone starting out, think about what you're filming mostly, what kind of content you're creating, and then find the right frame rate for that kind of content and stick to it and don't change it unless you really have to. So I'm probably gonna film everything at 30 frames a second from now on. Planning to mostly film outside and do travel and kind of day trip kind of stuff. That's where I really wanna be for this YouTube channel. And that's my timer. So now it's time to go back. Anyway, it's been nice chatting to you. We haven't had a chat like this, have we? I went very geeky and very technical there. There'll be a few people out there who I know who will find that conversation quite interesting. And if you want to have any more conversations with me about frame rates and cameras and all that kind of stuff, drop me some comments below or send me a message. I'm going inside now because I'm going to get told off for staying past my time if I don't hurry up. I'll catch you later. Unfortunately, guys, I don't have lunch to show you because somehow I've managed to misplace the file. I've looked everywhere for it. It would make this video so long, you're better off without it. Here's dinner. What's in the bag? A Hawaiian salad, whatever that is. It's a salad with pineapple, very inventive. Sweet corn. I have basically nil interest in that. Tropical juice burst, that's my favourite one of all of them, so that's good. Classic Hilden. Opera bar, layered cake with coffee, chocolate and praline. That sounds great. And the main event, it's not in the bag. Do you know why? Because it's in a box. It means inside there is pizza. I don't know what this pizza is going to be like. I'm hoping it's not the same as the kids' pizza the other day, but it probably is. How does it look, guys? Is that it? That's meant to be my dinner. That's a tiny little kid's pizza. Are you joking me? That doesn't look that appetizing either. I'm going in. Epic fail there. Okay. One moment. Honest thoughts. Here's the tea. It's a bit dry. It's a bit small. I've been used to having epically amazing pizza in Dubai. Shout out to Pitfire Pizza. Shout out to Pizza 800. Those two places, best pizza in Dubai. Pitfire has the edge. I'm just putting that out there. This is a pizza made by a kitchen that doesn't specialise in pizza. It's not bad, but it's not particularly delicious either. So I'm going to let you into a little secret. I already knew that pizza was shite. So I ordered a Chinese, didn't I? Oh yeah. So this This is the main event with chopsticks. Bit of information for any of you who don't know what English Chinese is like. It's probably an insult to actual real Chinese food because it's nothing like it, I don't think. However, it is what we've grown up with and I've been missing it for so long. I would have ordered loads more, but I just thought I'm not going to eat it. It's a bit of a waste to order any more than that. But I ordered my favourite thing, which is the sweet and sour chicken balls. Oh my god. I'm going to just rate this first before I do that because it's only fair to carry on the process. I'm expecting good things from this though. That is something else. That is off the scale. The positives of this cancel out the negatives of that. Whoa! That's what happens when you stare into a light. It's brought the average of the meal up. I'm rating this meal a 6 out of 10. That's probably the lowest one yet. But it doesn't matter because we've got Chinese. So we've got our sweet and sour chicken balls. They look like this. They're just amazing. Got our sweet and sour. Look at the amazing colour of that. So natural. Plain chow mein. I don't know if you get it in other countries. Basically our version of Chinese noodles. Really specific thing that you get in the UK, which you don't always get in other countries, is bean sprouts, and they give it such a unique flavour. That's my main course, but I got a little starter because I do love my satay chicken. Can I just say, this isn't me being fat. I am fat. It never like lays flat. People must think I'm pregnant. Smells good. And I'm going to do a little dipperoo. Oh, that is so good. Oh, wow. I've missed this so much. I'm going to go with a sweet and sour chicken ball. I'm going to try some of this chow mein. This is how it looks. Well, the equivalent of this in Dubai is called Hakka noodles, but instead of having bean sprouts, it's with peppers and onions. And I hate peppers. This is the Chinese of my homeland. I feel bad saying that. That's really rude to Chinese people. Thank you for bringing your cuisine over. I do appreciate it. It has that flavour. I can't even describe it. It's so good. I would normally get egg fried rice as well, some mixed vegetables, maybe a beef curry, get a whole load of stuff and then people share. But I'm on my own. There's just no point in getting that much stuff just to show you. It literally would get wasted. No, stop looking at my eyes. Camera, you're too good at focusing. The colour is ridiculous. Inside. I can't tell you how amazing that tastes. I've been dreaming about this. I even found a place, an English place in Dubai that did English Chinese sweet and sour chicken balls. They weren't like this, which is probably like the worst thing you could eat, but it tastes amazing. You have no idea how happy this has made me. Now I feel like I've come home. The only thing left to do now to make this meal complete is to watch Pooch Perfect on iPlayer. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you do. See you later. I don't know why I'm getting quiet, but I like it. Good night.